Alright, this is one question for every NFC team in the NFL going into the 2023 season. I'm going to start from the first seed from the playoff season, and then last place, and then on for. So let's get right to the video. So for the Philadelphia Eagles, the obvious thing is, will they have a Super Bowl hangover? Because every year it's a Super Bowl hangover for every team that happens to being the Super Bowl, at least for one team, that's for sure. Plus they have a harder schedule this year, and they're going to get the likes of Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, the Miami Dolphins, and a whole bunch of good, tough teams. So, this is going to be really tough for them to actually win these games like they did last year. For the Chicago Bears, the big question for them is, how are the offensive line going to hold up? Because they did just revamp the offensive line. It's still not the best, but, it still can't be worse than it was last year, which was the worst offensive line in the league. So, they did add Ricky Darnell Wright to the offensive line. Probably going to play right tackle for them. So, hopefully for their sake, they can protect Justin Fields better than they did last year. Now, for the 49ers, it's basically who's going to be the QB for the 49ers, because, they have Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, and the old saying goes, if you have more than one QB, you have no QB at all. So, they have a great roster, but if you don't have that one QB that they should rely on, then I don't really see their chances actually bringing back to the conference championship game again. Now, for the Arizona Cardinals, it's a matter of how good will Kyler Murray play to where they can convince the Arizona Cardinals to not draft Caleb Williams, because the Cardinals are not going to be good this year, and they're going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes for sure. So, depending on how Kyler Murray comes back from that ACL tear, it's probably going to be middle of the season, how good he's going to play after the fact. So, they actually, either trade him or go with Caleb Williams for sure. For the Minnesota Vikings, it's Brian Flores and that defense, and how good they're going to be so quickly, because that Brian Flores defense is really exotic and stuff like that, to where they don't have the ups and downs for that defense alone. So how fast it's going to be and how good can they be to wherever they actually get used to the system, for they can actually be a really competent defense for them. For the Los Angeles Rams, it's more the fact that what their draft picks from this year actually pan out for them, because for the last couple of years they went the whole screw them picks route, and they did win the Super Bowl, but it's costing them now, given the fact that they barely had any picks for real to where they can actually develop young talent for them. So, how good are their rookie class going to be this year for them? It's really the biggest question for them. Now, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is the matter of can that roster actually carry on to at least a positive record? Because let's be honest, they're in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes too, given the fact that they don't have Tom Brady no more. All their star players are getting older too, and it's going to be hard for them to actually be good, especially if they have Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield bound for the QB position. So, how good the roster is really going to be this year for them? Now, I was going to go the Kyle Pitts route for the Atlanta Falcons, but I went with the pass rushers, because I can't remember the last time where the Atlanta Falcons actually had a competent pass rushing team for them. They signed Bud Dupree, David from the Saints, and they also got Calais Campbell, who's older now, but still a serviceable edge rusher for them. Also, side tangent, Grady Jarrett is really one of the most underappreciated pass rushers in the league too, and I'm just glad that he finally gets some help with the pass rushing department, because they really need that for sure. Now, for the Dallas Cowboys, I discussed this before, but I'm going to say it again though, how good would this offense be since they don't have Kellen Moore no more? Because Mike McCarthy calling the plays, and I'm not the biggest fan of Dak Prescott. I think he's a French top 10 guy, but at the same time though, he do play bad in big games. So how good will the Dallas Cowboys offense be, given the fact that Kellen Moore's not the play caller no more? It's Mike McCarthy. Now, for New Orleans Saints, it's a matter of how fast and good that Derek Carr could be for the Saints, given the fact that he's learning a new system, new play caller, and all type of stuff like that. And plus, since Alvin Kamara is likely going to be suspended for at least about 6 to 8 games, because law enforcement type of stuff like that. How good would Derek Carr be, and will he go back to his usual some ways where he will end up playing good in some games, and then end up playing bad in other games? So we'll see when it comes to Derek Carr. Now, for the New York Giants, it's going to be a matter of will they regret paying Daniel Jones $40 million to be their QB, because that run that he had was kind of Blake Bortles-ish, minus the whole legendary defense type of thing. But even though Blake Bortles is definitely a worse quarterback than Daniel Jones, I'm still not believing in Daniel Jones. I kind of give him the fact that he ain't had the weapons like Blake Bortles had in that 2017 run, but at the same time though, he is still prone to turn the ball over. So I am kind of worried about if they actually overpaid Daniel Jones for them to be the QB of the future. So instead of going the whole rookie QB on route for the Carolina Panthers, I'm gonna go the defensive route. Is how good their defense will be, because they just revamped their defense. They probably gonna go the whole 10-2 defense that they did back when Frank was the head coach with the Colts. And will Brian Burns also have that breakout type of season where like he'll be in the defensive player of the year conversation, because he's that good where he could be in that conversation. I also think J.C. Horn is a great player too. Seattle Seahawks, it's all about Geno Smith, man. Can Geno Smith repeat his performance they had last year, where you had like a really comeback player of the year type of season for him? Because it really is. He really did kind of get carried by the roster, but Geno Smith, to his credit, did play really good when they really needed to play good. So can you repeat that success for him? Because they have a lot of film on him now to where he can do. So this is the matter of like, he's really that guy for him for at least the next couple of years. Now, it's just a matter of like how good of a head coach Matt LaFleur is, because Matt LaFleur did benefit from having Aaron Rodgers as QB for the last 4 years, and he did win 2 MVPs out of it. But like at the same time though, like now he has Jordan Love. He might rely on the running game a lot more, but at the same time though, like I wonder how much of the success he had with Aaron Rodgers was predicated on more on him and then just Aaron Rodgers. That's the biggest question in my opinion. Now, for the Detroit Lions, it's going to be the matter of how good that defense is going to be for them, especially Aiden Hutchinson as he's preparing for his second year. How big of a leap he's going to have for them, because he's going to be really important for them, especially the defensive line, that they have like a great loaded defensive lineman there. And also, like, just how good the defense in general is going to be. Like, it's going to be top half in the league and stuff for that for him. Like, I'm really excited for this defense future, for real. And then last but not least, the Washington Commanders, and how much development can Eric Bieniemy can get out of Sam Howell. And Sam Howell came off his rookie year, only played 1 game last year, to which he looked really impressive for someone that only played just 1 game. And Eric Bieniemy is a great offensive-minded coach, so for them to be the OC, I wonder how good he can get Sam Howell to be for this team's offense, because really, their success really depends on how good Sam Howell could be, how good of a play call Eric Bieniemy could be. Especially since Eric Bieniemy could really be a head coach for any other team, for real.